when we were preparing for this interview is you said, you know, I want to talk to artists that want to come up.
Yeah.
And I want to tell them how to get their ideas off the ground and make it. It's a secret that everybody's trying to figure out. What you know, tell us how did you do it, and how do we do it? How do we get something off the ground and get it to go viral, get it to do, you know, and get it to just be successful?
Well, I get a lot of emails, messages, or like, hey, I want to be a comic, right? I see what you do up there. I want to be a comedian. What do you think about this bit? So they actually typed out the bit. What do you think about this joke? And I said, I can't help you until you've done it, right? I can't help you until you've done it. So it like, what do you think about this idea for a video? Like my agent is always like, well, you know, we're trying to pitch shows to Comedy Central. He goes,
that's around the corner.
Yeah, and we had this idea for this golf show where you're going to show up on the 18th hole with a bunch of guys that have been playing all day. And I was like, all right, this is for 10 grand. This hole's for 10 grand. And then I would put in jokes with the guy's swing and stuff like that. Right. So I'm pitching this whole idea, and my agent goes, I was like, do you think like Fox or do you think CMT or someone to pick this up? He goes, yeah, just do it. Just go do it. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, if you believe in it, just go do it. And I was like, oh, so it's just yeah, and then do it and then show it to them. We're like, here's the thing we're gonna do. Like they can't get on board with your vision until like you like a lot of there's a lot of people, first of all, talking, right? The fact that you live in Atlanta, I live in LA, we're sitting in South Carolina, we got a video guy, we got 2 mics. Somebody was like, hey, let's do it. Somebody was like, all right, get in the car, get the mics, call the guy, and let's do it. Let's do it.
We went back and forth.
Yeah, we went back and forth. But a lot of people, I go back and forth with tons of people. Hey, you want to do a podcast? You want to come on my show? You want to come on? And then you were like, we didn't even know we were doing this till yesterday.
We did. I was like, all right, where you at?
You were like, I'm coming. And I was like, I respect anyone that shows up.
Wow.
If you show up, because I get all the people.
Because that's how you weed it out.
Yeah, that's how, like, if, like, I don't know about this bit. The thing about stand-up is, like, you know, if you're a guitar player, you can practice in your room for 3 years, get amazing, and then come out to the people. And you're like, this guy's, I can't. I have to do it the first time in front of everybody. And whoever you are, I've been doing stand-up for 7 years. I had a show last night that was a disaster. Not a disaster, but like it went bad.
Right.
It went bad because I had a joke that I was like, I think this is gonna work, right? But I don't know. And it didn't work. I'd be the first guy to admit when it didn't work. Right. You gotta be like highly self-aware. So like I see a lot of comics and like open mics, they get off stage like, dude, I just crushed. I'm like, what? Who crushed? Dude, I was there. I don't think it went. I don't think you crushed. I don't think you crushed it. I think you no, it was a problem. But I'd be the first guy. I mean, I knew everyone on the bus. When I got back onto the bus, they were going to be railing me for that set. They're like, hey, what happened up there, bro? I'm like, because I already know. Was the room just quiet? It wasn't. I mean, I did a bit. It was bad. It was bad, dude. You don't want to say it. Okay. No, I did a bit where like I was like, I talk about going into like, we all want diversity in our churches, but we want the minorities to come to our churches. We never went to theirs. Yeah. I said we want the minorities to come to the white churches. We never went. And it was too real. Yeah, and I go, what if you went into the black church? And then it was too, and everybody's just like, it was too much. It was too much. But hold on, that's incredible. Yeah, because it's true. That's truth. Well, so everybody. It's difficult, but everybody in the bus was making fun of me, but they go, I mean, I respect that you did it. I respect that you went out there and did it. So let's say let's say for whatever reason this gets no views. Right. No one likes it. No one retweets it. You're like, well, we did it. And this is I did my biggest viral video at the time was the Christian Mingle Inspector. This was probably last year. It was like going into people's houses, like inspecting to make sure they're Christian. It was a stupid video. Got 6 million views, which is good. The best I'd ever had. My next one was it was for a phone app called Get Offended. So you just swipe through and be offended at everything. Yeah. It didn't even get 1 million. So it would be considered to me a major failure. Yeah, and I put a lot of money into that. But then the next one, the Millennial International, was 20 million. I mean, that took off. So what do you say about the one that failed? I say, and the same thing for, you have to if you're done, you have to get to that to get to the next one. So I don't look at that as a failure. I look at that as this idea was in my head. Like, I want to make this. I want to make this. I want to make this. I got it out, and now I could go on to the next thing. If you're thinking about anybody creative that has said anything that remarkable, he's like, if somebody would email, hey, what do you think about this? They're basically saying, do you think the crowd is going to like this? If you're putting out music, if you're putting out a sermon, do you think the crowd is going to, and if you get to that point of thinking, you're dead. This has got to be, I'm making this video for me, dude. I'm so frustrated with millennials and how they act, and how that I'm making this isn't for you. This is for me. I'm looking around and I see these people 28, 29 living with their parents, but still wanting to be the most fashionable, but not having it's not creatively, just this job doesn't, and I'm just like, I look at this all day and I was like, I gotta get this out. Wow. So now it's not, and you don't know if anybody's gonna like it. If 20 people or 20 million somebody said, I'm gonna make my best content and put it out there. Once it's out there, what happens to it is none of your business. None of my business what is done with it. If it goes everywhere or if it goes nowhere, that's not on me. My job was everything up to when I pressed upload.
So what you're saying is, and then we'll go into a song and we'll be on our last segment, I'm saying, what you're basically saying is the first step to success in launching something or being successful isn't doing it for you.
Is for you, yeah.
And doing it, and continuously doing it.
So like
at some point it'll catch on,
dude.
Potentially,
this thing right here, this phone, you can do anything. Whatever creatively, you can record music, you can be a rapper, you can upload a blog, you can be a comedian, you can make videos. There's literally no barrier to creativity. If you want to be a pastor, you don't even have to have a church. You could just start posting sermons, right? Right. You could. You could. And so all that's like people all the time have asked me, would you ever delete a tweet? Would you ever delete a video? Would you ever delete something that wasn't successful, right? So you post a joke, you think it's hilarious, no one likes it. Would you go back and delete that? I would say no, because that is giving the people the power that you made it for them. Woo! You didn't make it for them. If you did, you think John Mayer is sitting back in the studio going, I wonder what
they're thinking about myself.
No, dude. He's like, I'm gonna make. I told comics, my comics are doing these like fluffy, like I did this. The first joke I ever wrote was a joke called like, I don't make fun of homeschool. To me, it was like the goodest thing that ever happened to me. That's like that's a surface level. It's funny, but it's not. Right. People are not gonna drive 6 hours to hear that. Yeah. But so comics are like, what should I write? I was like, what's in you? What's in here, dude? You've been adopted. Get to that. So get to that. Like, dude, I've talked about. I've been on the road for like 3 years, just like pretty much alone, and how it gets lonely, and how I've like struggled with like alcohol, and like get into there, dude, because that's gonna be like, dude, I'm driving to South. I need to hear that guy's story. I often talked about a time where I was in like North Dakota somewhere in a bar, and I was drinking, and I was trying to like connect with this girl, and I was in the airport, like the lowest point, and I talk about this on stage often, and I had gone through like some counseling and stuff, and my pastor goes, what do you think Jesus would think about you in that bar trying to talk to that girl? Yeah. And I go, well, honestly, the way I grew up was, all prim and proper, buttoned up Christianity. If you're doing something bad, I'm embarrassed of you. You're embarrassed. Don't even call yourself a Christian. Get out. You're supposed to be a leader. Legalism. And you're in here. Legalism. Yeah. Right. And then my therapist changed my life. He goes, dude, Jesus would sit right down next to you and he'd go, dude, you don't think I know what it's like to be lonely, bro? Right? You don't think I know what it's like to be abandoned by my friends? Lazarus, my best friend, died in front of me. You don't think I know what it's like? And you're sad and you're lonely and you're going to alcohol and women. I get it. I could give it to you. I could provide what you need, but I get it. So you see a mom.
I'm loving you through it.
I'm in. So you see a mom out there, and she's like, someone's like, so she's sad and she's overeating. Oh, that's a bummer. Like, Jesus is not like, he's like, man, that's a bummer that she's doing that, but I get it. Or she's taking 2 pills, or she's whatever she's doing, or she's getting a DUI. It's a bummer that he's using alcohol to escape, but I get it. Life is hard. Right?
And I love you.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but he's not.
No. I mean, I think essentially what you're saying is, it's like, that's the reason he died.
Yeah.
Because we're imperfect.
Yeah.
And we're doing our best to make it through this world, and over time we get better.
You should. Yeah.
But in the process of getting better, we do some crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff. Yes.
And he's
like, hey, I'm gonna have to.
Like, what are you doing? You're crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, saying, I get it. I love
this
you.
Need to be. And if you're lonely, this need to connect. I put that in you. If you're going to, like, you're trying to get it in unhealthy ways, but you got to get it. It should be for me, but you're going somewhere else. That's a bummer, but
I'm still with you.
I'm still here,
and I still love you.
I can't. That's too much for me, dude.
But
that's too much for me, bro.
It's when I understood for the first time that there was nothing I could do to lose the love of God. It transformed my life.
Yeah.